Hello everybody and welcome to another video. By the way, if you have not checked out my 2024 election night slideshow prediction, go check it out now. You should be able to find it on my community page. It should be one of my recent videos. But today, as of right now, Robert F. Kennedy Jr. has suspended his campaign. He has announced that he will be removing his name from the ballots of 10 key swing states, although there is some breaking news. The ballots in North Carolina have already been printed for mail-in voting already, so Robert F. Kennedy Jr.'s name will be on the ballot in North Carolina. But if we really do want to check North Carolina, we can go. I'm pretty sure North Carolina here. I don't really think you can check Kennedy in there, but Kennedy is probably only like polling around 4 to 5%. And since he did officially kind of suspend his campaign, most people who are voting for him in North Carolina would probably still vote for someone else anyways, because they know RFK basically officially has no shot of winning any state in the presidential election in November. But how will this affect the general election? And we will see right now. The safe states, we gotta always start off with the safe Democratic states. These. New Jersey, could be likely. I would honestly put it in safe right now. But RFK dropping out definitely does help Trump a bit, because, well, he endorsed Trump. But he was only polling at 5% anyways, and well, yeah, but at least half, and you're like at least half of that, well, 2.5% is gonna go to Trump, right? And that will put Trump ahead of Harris, right? Because Harris is up by 2 in national polls. No, that is not correct. Uh, I don't even think that maybe 10% are gonna go to Trump. In his best, I think around like 15 to 20% of those RFK voters are gonna go to Trump. But as of now, I don't really think that Trump is going to be able to win the election just because of Kennedy's endorsement. But Kennedy dropping out just makes this election season even wilder. But now let's move on to the safe Republican states. There we go. But Robert F. Kennedy endorsing Donald Trump came as a big surprise, honestly. I mean, his entire family supports Harris. His father was like such a prominent Democratic politician. Let's do the likely Democratic states now. That's going to be New Hampshire, Maine, Minnesota, Virginia, New Mexico, Colorado, safe Republican. And I mean, yeah, it came as a big surprise. There was a Twitter post on an X post. Trump posted, should RFK Jr. be appointed as the CIA director? And a lot of people in the comments said yes, and a lot of other people said that he should be appointed in the medical and health department as Surgeon General or something. So that's very interesting to see. Let's go to the final 6 states: Wisconsin, Michigan, Pennsylvania, North Carolina, Georgia, Arizona, and Nevada. So now let's look more deeper into the polls. So before Kennedy dropped out, he was averaging at 5%. That was the highest of any third-party candidate. Because I mean, look at this. Stein is at 0.8. West is at 0.6. But Kennedy's highest poll was at 9%. But he was kind of just collapsing. He was collapsing after Harris came back, and a lot of his supporters went towards Harris. You can look here. This is when Biden dropped out, and as you can see, when Harris surged, Trump was kind of just staying at the same. Like right after the first polling after Harris became the nominee, he was polling at 44.3. Now he's polling at 44.4. And before, Harris was polling at 42.5. She's polling at 46.4 now. But the person who really lost was Kennedy. He was at 6.5% before. Now he's at 5%. At one point, he was at like 4.5% right here. Uh, Stein and West, they both lost like 0.2%, but that doesn't really matter. Yeah, and like you can see here, Kennedy was pulling at like 14 percentage points before. Crazy. His campaign just absolutely destroyed. Now let's look deeper into the swing states. So right now I have the least closest swing state being Michigan. Unsurprisingly, that is the bluest of all the swing states. We can go Michigan. Harris is up by 2% here. Only two polls show Trump up, and those are by very little margins. Bloomberg has Harris up by 11. We can't really trust Bloomberg. I mean, it's Bloomberg. And you know, Trump is kind of done in Michigan when Rasmussen, I always don't know how to pronounce that, has Harris up. And Rasmussen is like a really Republican pollster. So yeah, we can pretty much solidify Michigan as a blue state now. North Carolina, Democrats are now saying that it is in play. I can kind of understand that. North Carolina, kind of a pretty Republican state, went it actually went less Republican than Michigan went blue in 2020, which is kind of interesting. Yeah, it went less Republican than something like Nevada. I'm pretty sure, yeah. But let's check Nevada first. Actually, that just popped into my mind. I actually have Nevada uh overestimating Trump. That is correct. I had Michigan, like the polls said that Harris is up by 2. I have like Trump winning it. Sorry, Harris winning it by like 1.2%. But Nevada, I have Harris winning it by like 1 percentage point on the dot. The polls have Trump up by 1.4. Look at all of these polls. Only Bloomberg has Harris up. And that's only by 2. Insider Advantage has Trump up by 10. But I do have Nevada going 1 point to Harris because it's a very reliable Democratic state. It went to Hillary Clinton in 2016, and I'm pretty sure Minnesota was closer than Nevada. And obviously, it's not 2016 anymore. But also, Nevada also was the swing state that least underestimated Donald Trump in 2020. So I feel like Nevada is kind of reliably Democrat, although I wouldn't be surprised if it went to either side. Nevada is still kind of unclear. Polling is kind of harsh in Nevada. I don't know how. I mean, I kind of do know how the language barrier and all of that. But Nevada is kind of unknown right now. But now let's move to North Carolina. North Carolina, unsurprisingly, right now I have it going Republican, but the polls shockingly have it closer than Nevada. Trump is leading by less than a percentage point in Nevada. There have been several recent polls that show Harris winning this reliably Republican state. Bloomberg actually has Trump up, kind of surprisingly. But yeah, I mean, I do have Trump winning it by a lean margin, like 1.1% maybe. And yeah. I mean, I don't really know anyone that has North Carolina blue as of the moment, except for maybe someone like LTE or Sammy Talks Politics. Shout out to Sammy Talks Politics, by the way. Now let's go to the next Democratic state. This one is going to be Wisconsin. Sorry, that's Senate. Let's go to Wisconsin. Tim Walz definitely helped Harris out in this part of western Wisconsin. So many suburbanites going towards Walz, and a lot of progressives as well, because he's kind of some people call him a moderate, Republicans call him a progressive, progressives call him a moderate, progressives call him a progressive, moderates call him a moderate. So Tim Walz definitely helps. Yeah, I'm pretty sure this is around the time. Tim Walz definitely just helps Harris out a lot in Wisconsin. I have it going towards Harris by a lean margin. Now let's go towards Arizona. This state, I have it going towards Donald Trump. Trump is barely ahead here, 0.2%. It's gotten super close. At one point, Harris was up. That is no longer. But Arizona could be one of the closest states of the election, if not the closest. But I do have Trump winning this state by like 0.7%. The abortion referendum and everything does help Harris a lot here, obviously. But I also feel like RFK endorsing Trump in Arizona kind of has a significant impact. Not significant, but kind of an impact. And plus, obviously, RFK is kind of helping Trump. Yeah. So I have Arizona going towards Trump. That leaves us with two states, Georgia and Pennsylvania. Georgia, I have going towards Trump. Polls show Trump winning this state by 1 percentage point. Bloomberg actually has a tie. The only poll having Harris up is Fabricio. Wait, is it this one? Sorry, no. Is PPP. I'm not surprised that Trump is leading here. Harris has skyrocketed. Does help with a lot of African Americans, obviously. And yeah. Georgia should be going Republican. Obviously, there's still lots of room to change, but as of now, I do have Georgia going red. Now let's go to the final state, Pennsylvania. It's not going to be the closest, but I'm just going to save it because I wanted to make it like the tie-breaking state to build this video up. Trump is actually leading here by 0.2%. I'm kind of surprised that Harris hasn't led in any of these polls. Because, like, if we go to 538, that's a very different story. I'm pretty sure, like, Harris is up by, like, 1.1% right now on 538. But this is August 24th, by the way. So, just letting you guys know. I do have Kamala Harris winning Pennsylvania by a tilt margin. Unsurprisingly. It's probably the second or third most Democratic swing state. Maybe after Michigan and Nevada. But Pennsylvania, I feel like Tim Walz helps Wisconsin. Helps in Wisconsin definitely a lot more than Pennsylvania. And I feel like Harris actually loses some ground in Pennsylvania because against Joe Biden, because Joe Biden was like born in Pennsylvania in that Scranton, Pennsylvania thing. But I mean, this is really it. Kamala Harris leads 276 to 262. Obviously, lots of gap, lots of time. So much could change. Maybe this election year will become even crazier with an assassination, an incumbent president who's running, got basically all of the delegates dropping out, vice president going, so many protests, foreign policy being a massive issue, immigration, the economy, and a third-party candidate of a prominent Democratic family endorsing a Republican. It's just pretty shocking, you know. But this is it for this video. Subscribe, stay tuned, and I'll see you in the next one. Goodbye.